Welcome to Navigation Trading Live. You are now part of a growing group of do-it-yourself traders who are trying to change the way investors think about building wealth. But because we don't believe in using financial advisors, stock tips, or traditional financial media, we have to do things different. We have to do things smarter. We do that through an art and a science we call trade hacking. At Navigation Trading, our methodology is based on statistics and probabilities, not hype or emotion. Our core strategies have been used by market makers, hedge funds, and floor traders for many years. Now, we share these secrets with you. Whether your goal is to make an extra $1,000 per month or replace your current income, with our guidance, you can achieve financial success beyond your wildest dreams. So, let's get started. What's up, Navigation Traders? Happy Monday. Today is Monday, January 8th. Hope everybody had a great weekend. It's been a few weeks since we did our live broadcast. We had Christmas on Monday a couple Mondays ago, and then last Monday was New Year's. So it's good to be back at it. If you haven't already, make sure you connect with us on Facebook, facebook.com/navigationtrading, and youtube.com/navigationtrading, as well as Twitter. This is where we make a lot of our announcements for upcoming web class events that we have, for new course releases and so forth. So really exciting stuff going on with Navigation Trading this year. Got a lot of cool new stuff coming out for you guys. I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it. It's all good stuff. And remember, as a pro member, anytime we come out with a new course or anything or any kind of content like that, it is automatically going to be uploaded to your members area at no additional cost. So make sure you check that out at navigationtrading.com/pro-trial if you're interested. And let's jump into this now. Remember, excuse me, trying to get over a little bit of a cold here, but you know, this live broadcast is all about you guys. So if you have any questions or topics or anything that you want me to cover, you know, one of the requests that I've been getting a lot is doing some kind of tutorial videos with Tastyworks, which is one of our preferred brokers. So we've got a lot of, in the courses, we've got a lot of detail on Thinkorswim, of how to place every trade, a setup of the platform, a big overview on that, and we don't have anything on Tastyworks yet. Part of the reason is, one, we are waiting for them to come out with their Analyze tab. I've been told that should be released maybe this week, either this week or next week, hopefully. And then once that is available, then I'll be doing full-blown tutorials on Tastyworks, showing you some of the cool functionality. In the meantime, we did do a web class with the CEO over there, Tom Sosnoff, and we have that still up on our site. And in fact, let me go to that right now. See if I can get this on my screen for you a little bit better. This is actually the CML backtester. I was taking a look at something this morning, but if you go to navigationtrading.com/TW, and there's the opening bell, we'll get to that in a minute. navigationtrading.com/TW-replay. This is where you'll get the full replay of the web class that we did with Tom Sosnoff. So check that out, and then as soon as we can, we will be getting out some more videos on each of the different trading strategies and how those will work. So we heard the opening bell, so let's go to the platform and take a look at what's going on. If we take a look at the let's go to the stocks. There we go. We've got the stocks are just down a little bit. S&P's down 2, Dow's down about 5, NASDAQ down 6, Russell's down a couple. So very little bit after this massive run that we've had. So hoping we can get a little bit of downside, not only to benefit our navigation alerts portfolio, but also to potentially get a little pop up higher in implied volatility in some of these stock indices. If we take a look at, let's see, bonds and TLT, getting a little bit of a pop back up in bonds. We've got the VIX is up about 5% this morning. VIX futures actually about 1%. Oil's up slightly. If we take a look at oil, you can see implied volatility continues to stay fairly low there. GLD, which is the gold ETF, had a nice trade in GLD, but now implied volatility is fairly low, so not much to do there. UNG, which is the ETF that we use to measure the volatility for nat gas. If you were watching this at all last week, you noticed, if I can get this chart visual for you. I don't know why it keeps switching on me. There we go. So you can see that price is at about $22. For some reason, TOS is acting a little quirky on me this morning. So UNG is trading at a little over $22. Well, just last week it was at $6. So it's not that the price increased, it's simply that they repriced the product. And when you have a product like UNG, which is has that natural contango and backwardation from because it tracks futures, every once in a while they will need to reprice that so that it doesn't go so low, because it can continue to grind lower and lower until it gets to zero. Well, it got under $6, so they repriced it to in the mid-20s, and but we really don't trade UNG. The only thing we use UNG for is to get an accurate reading on that implied volatility indicator. So as you can see, implied volatility in nat gas has been extremely high, getting a nice little crush today, which will help some of our positions. Looks like the grains are just down a little bit. Wheat leading the way down at almost 1% down. EWW, the Mexican ETF, pretty flat. FXI, pretty flat. The euro down about 0.5%. Some of these emerging markets, EFA, EWZ, just down slightly, kind of with the rest of the market. XBI, the biotech's down a little bit. XLK that's the technology, so that kind of tracks right with the NASDAQ. XRT, retail up slightly. Oil, some of these oil-related ETFs, pretty flat to down. And XLV down a little bit. So what I want to do for our trade of the week is, if we're looking at XLV, so XLV is the healthcare ETF. And sorry everyone, I don't know why my screen keeps switching around symbols after I click on it. So there's XLV. As you can see, the implied volatility is nice and high. The percentile is at 68. And so what I wanted to do here is I wanted to sell some premium in XLV. We do not have a position on in our portfolio for XLV. And what I'd like to look at is is doing either a butterfly or a very tight iron condor. Okay, so or potentially a straddle. So if we look at the trade tab of XLV, and let's just start out with a straddle. So if it's trading right at 85. So if we look at the 85 sell straddle and analyze that trade. So here's what you see. You can set your slices to break even. 217. And we've got about a 47.5% probability of profit. That's if we held all the way to expiration. Obviously, with these straddle type positions, we're going to manage this. We're going to book winners at about 20 to 25% of max profit. So that would definitely be a good option. If you prefer defined risk, you could do a very tight iron condor or an iron fly. So if we did that, we could say like 86 sell iron condor. And we could just do one strike out of the money on either side. So 86, 84. And set our calls to, let's protect ourselves at the 80, 89 level. So we click on 89 here, and then on the put side, on the downside, if we're selling the 84, we could look at the 81, 3 strikes wide on each side. So then if we go to analyze that, let's click off of our straddle. You can see we got a little bit lower probability of success. So let's move our slices into the break-even points here. So about a 42% probability of success, but we're defining our risk. I kind of like this one a little bit better. We've got a decent amount of undefined risk on in our portfolio, so switching up the strategy, and we would manage this at about 30% of max profit. And so looking for price to stay in a range as well as some contraction in implied volatility. So if we take these slices and post them on our chart just to get an idea, set slices to our chart. So basically if price stayed in between here, we're going to make money. So it can't get up much above 87.25, and it can't get much below 82.778. So decent little range. I mean, you can see XLV doesn't move a whole heck of a lot. We had a pretty decent move there, but for the most part, it has relatively been a little bit more of a stable price mover. And as you can see now, the IV percentile has bounced up to 87, so that's even better for selling premium. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I like that trade. So what I'll do is I'm going to try to get filled. I'll stop the broadcast here. If I get filled, I will shoot that out to our navigation alerts, to our pro members, and you can execute it if it falls in line with the rest of your portfolio. Hope everybody has a great week of trading, and we'll talk to you next week.